Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Aussie today? So still using Bill Williams' theory, and just starting off in the weekly with Aussie because you had this engulfing here, then we sold off, and then we ended up with this pin bar, hammer, doji, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much it was a weekly indecision bar. So we started here, we rallied, and we came all the way back to the starting point. Okay, and the important thing to understand is that this was our inside bar that we're coming back to. Okay, now with all the geopolitical noise happening with Trump and the Chinese claiming that they will no longer, they're putting a ceasefire to the trade war with no further tariff increases for 90 days. I mean, so that's not even telling us that they are abolishing the trade tariffs or they've come to an agreement. It's just basically saying to us that they're not going to do anything for the next 90 days. And everybody is jumping in and buying stock. So, yeah, it just shows you how emotional this market really is. So, Aussie, weekly, not really a pretty picture here. This is still very much a downward picture, although the oscillator has formed some diversions here as well. So, you can read quite a bit into that. And if we look at the daily, see we had the rally, broke through the Bill Williams alligator, and then we came back off again. Okay, nothing really on the daily, except for the fact that this bar here is a wise man number one. Okay, so the trade would have been long above there. Okay, on a break above this, the high of this bar here, and your stop would be down there. So trading wise man one on the daily, that would have been wise man number one. 1, 2, 3, a break of this level here would be my second entry. Okay, so yeah, you can see how the daily on Friday was a bit of a disaster. I mean, look at this solid engulfing bar with these indecision bars. So yeah, if you were trading Bill Williams, you'd be in a bit of a bad position right now because you'd be stressing, or you would have stopped yourself out of it already. So anyway, you can't really trade Bill Williams on the higher time frames. It needs to be on the lower ones. But let's just get down to something we can trade. So there is still this gap here, which did not close. Okay, the other gaps that close, but what you can see here is on the 4-hour, looking at the awesome oscillator, we broke above, we came back, and we just dipped below on the last 4-hour bar. The oscillator is grouped into a area of telling us to buy, and it could very well be an inverse head and shoulders here. So what you're going to get today is a gap up. So that's for sure. Tencent is up 4.4% at the moment. So bet your bottom dollar we will get a gap up. And my concern is that it's a gap like we've had the last couple of days, like this one, gap up and then a sell-off. Although I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is a catalyst that is going to drive the buyers into their Christmas rally mode. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm expecting. And if I come down to the hour, the difficulty is going to be where to get in. Okay, so that is going to be the big difficulty. Now for me, I would have preferred price to come and close this gap, form a base, and then allow us to get in. But we're not going to get that. We're going to get a massive gap up. I mean, this gap here was a 10-cent driven gap as well, which was almost 800 points, 890 points. So I would expect something similar. Okay. So, I mean, just up to, let me just use this level. Just up to this inside tail. Here is 1,000 points. So, I don't think it would be wise to chase this at the open. Maybe. But again, you're going to have to come down to sort of a 12, even a 5-minute bar for that first half hour of trading. And try get in there. It's going to be volatile. But you want to try get in at that open. and then see if you can, see if you can get it up. But I would, if you're going to do that, do a very small position and just see what transpires. I do suspect we're going to bounce up, but I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. So big gap up, a little bit of a pullback, find a base, and then move to the upside. Okay, so what I suggest you do in order to capture that is put in your levels on every tail, okay, regardless whether it's an inside tail or not. So there's an inside tail, this is not an inside tail. Okay, this is an inside tail because price has gone past it. Okay, that's not an inside tail, price has not gone past it yet. And that is an inside tail there. Right. So those are fairly significant levels, and you can put another one in there and put one in there. Okay, now guys, these are not levels to go short on, not with what's happening in the market at the moment, right? So have a look at this logically. If we do get a massive gap up, sorry, I need to put a tail in there. Okay, so ideally for me, I would want to see a gap up from this area to here, around a 700-point gap up. Then I want to see a bit of a bounce down. Okay, and then what I want to see is the rally. Okay, but if we do get past this level, then what you're doing is you're looking for the next fractal. So that is a fractal level, that's a fractal level, that's a fractal level. So all I'm looking for is an area where I can expect some profit taking to happen. So profit taking will happen, it'll fall down. Now as the sellers as the buyers start taking profit, basically they're selling, it'll fall down, find support somewhere, and then rally. And the trick is to find that area where we're going to find support. So the 1 hour will give me those levels, and then what you can do is you can drill down to like a 15 or even a 5 or 6 minute chart, and then you'll find additional levels inside there. So you'll see additional fractal levels that would also give you a hint as to what's going on. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this today. We are definitely looking for longs, and I think it's well worth getting an entry in to leave for a swing trade. Okay, and the logic is pretty simple. So there's no trade war tariffs, right? The Trump administration is starting to realize that they're causing more damage than actually good to their own economy. And you watch what happens. Trump will take credit for creating a new trade agreement, which will probably be the same as the last one, and ending the trade war, which he started. And everybody will be in euphoria, and markets will rally, and we'll have our Christmas rally, and then come January, there'll be a bit of indecision, and we'll have to see what happens then. But I think this is the December rally, and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of this. So you're looking for longs, and what you're looking for is to get in and get your levels and make sure that your stop loss is trailed one leg behind. Okay, so when I say one leg behind, look at the 1 hour and just trade it one fractal behind all the time. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this for now. Definitely looking for longs. The last thing I want to do is just pop across to the ichimoku. Ichimoku is something which gives us a fairly strong view of what's going on. So at that stage on the daily, trend is very strong to the downside. There is no bullish signal on the daily at all. This is downward. And basically what I'd be looking for, based on this candle here, if we didn't have the geopolitical noise, I would be going, okay, it should be short until this gap close, then it'll bounce up, and then I'm looking for a short to get in. Okay, so that's kind of the view that I would have on the daily. But bear in mind, Ichimoku is also very slow. We have had a crossover. We've had a twist. Okay. Now, I think the key thing to pick up here, okay, we've had two twists. But we got a twist based on a move down. And we've got a bearish twist. So there's nothing really to write home apart from the oscillators here. And we are kind of at a level. This is quite a strong level that we've broken through anyway. So there's nothing really to read into this here. If we look at the hour, very strong downtrend. Okay, crossover, twist in the cloud, crossover there, broken through price, broken through the cloud, very strong downtrend. Okay, we've got magnets to the downside, everything. So this is still bearish. I mean, every time frame is bearish on ichimoku. So ichimoku traders would be still looking for shorts. Okay, and if we come across to the Bill Williams, you will see that technically you should be looking for shorts, but let's just see if there was a no wise man number one, except there was an inside bar. Okay, and for me, I often look at the inside bar or any of my price action patterns for an indication, which could be a wise man number one. Okay, so this could be a wise man number one, but although it would be pretty close to stopping you out, if not stopped out. You probably would have been stopped out. Okay, so yeah, I think the trick here is what confirms a long on the 12-minute. It's a break above this fractal here. You could probably work on that fractal as well, because that fractal will be above this red line, the teeth. So that would be a confirmation of a long trade. Okay, so that's it for me. Really looking for longs. Don't try to chase it at the beginning. Let the opening happen. Then watch price action, and especially since US opened an hour, the Europe opened an hour later. Just be cautious, be patient. You will see something happen. You should get the oscillators grouping to the downside, so you'll get a big gap up, and then it should just go sideways or ever so gently upwards, and then you'll get your crossovers on the Bill Williams and get you your entry long. Okay, patience is key. Don't chase it right in the beginning. Let it consolidate. Watch the Williams percentage R and make sure it's set to 9 periods. Okay, that will give you a fairly quick grouping to the downside, and then you can get in. And if you have to today, just cancel your meetings, lock yourself in a dark room, just watch the 5 or 6 minute charts during the first half hour. That will give you the entry. I can almost guarantee you will see the price action happening, and then you can get in on it. Okay, so and I think this is the one that you want to try and leave. Okay, so I suspect that this trade war is going to sort itself out, especially over Christmas. So there's a political game going on, so it will happen. And all you need to do is just stay on the right side of it. Okay, anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.